Yo, how you doing? We're doing Final Fantasy 14, and yeah, here we go. They say you're the reason the ladder's moving again, that you're a woman who gets things done. Well, I've got a job that no one else around here seems capable of doing. All I want are some crystal spikes from the wings of those glyph kites, and not the old broken ones someone scavenged off the ground. If you can manage to bring me some wings with the spikes intact, I'll be sure to pay you what they're worth. Right, what have you got there for me? Nice length, no cracks or splintering. Aye, these will make the perfect spearheads. As I'm sure you've heard, Amity was originally built as a neutral venue for trading with the dwarf lands. The houses weren't meant to be homes, just somewhere to rest your head while you conducted your business. Once those relationships soured, though, the settlement soon emptied out, and exiles like us moved in. The way people talk, it sounds like Amity was thriving up until a few short years ago. But now, instead of people lining the roads, you've got hobgoblins and worse. That's why I wanted to make spears, for protection. Well, that was a bit more long-winded than I intended, but a little history never hurt no one, eh? Alright, take your payment and go then. I have the inventory for that yet. Gotta get to level 76 to open those coffers. Excuse me, miss. Have you seen a tall, skinny human girl on your travels? No? Do you think you might lend a hand in finding her then? She has a terrible habit of wandering away when left to her own devices. Not the safest pastime when you consider the wildlife around here. I'll start looking near the ladder, but it would make me feel better if I knew someone was searching along the cliff at the same time. Would you do that for me? Thank you. I've seen her walk off to the southeast before, so you might want to try that way first. If you do find her, please send her back to Amity. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Who are you? Sent you to find me, did he? My little brother lives down there, you see, and this place offers the best view of Gate Town. I'd wanted us to leave together, to give up on being chosen, but he'd become obsessed with the idea of Ilmore. And when I heard about the fighting and such, I got so worried. And now, here I am, causing the same kind of worry to my neighbors. My apologies. I'll be more careful in the future. have reset my router before all this. My friend came back safe and sound, saying how she was saved by a stranger. I assume that was you? She seemed less brooding than usual. What did you two talk about? I never knew she had a brother. Many have lost their families. Maybe that's why she thought to keep it a secret. But now that things in Yomor have changed, we shouldn't have to creep around the lowlands like thieves anymore. She'll be able to visit her brother openly. No more stealing away to peer over the cliffs. Peer over cliffs. Who knows? Maybe I'll even go along. She might need company on the road, and what else are friends for? I think I'll have a word with her right now. Thank you again, miss. Where is that miss still? He should have been back by now. I sent one of our newcomers to retrieve the supplies we had chilling in the river, and he has yet to return. I hope he hasn't run into trouble with the local dwarf clan. If your travels take you to that direction, could you keep an eye out for our missing Mistel? The newcomer, I've forgotten his name, was only meant to grab the snacks we had chilling upriver, then come straight back. I hope nothing bad has befallen him. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Can't breathe. The Mistel appears to be in need of a solid pat on the back. Huh, I see. A pat on the back. Whew. Thank you, I think I can breathe again. I was just on my way back to the village when some gods started yelling at me. They were certainly cross about something, so I just ran away as fast as my feet would carry me. In the wrong direction, as it turns out. Before I knew it, I'd collapsed here on the riverbank and dropped all my sacks into the water. They must have floated downstream, but I'm still too buggered to go look for them. Oh, my chest is still heaving. I hope those sacks don't get washed over the falls. That's cool, you can see Yomar from here. That makes sense. Are those my sacks? Yeah. I must say, this is a welcome relief. Let's just take a quick peek inside to see that everything's still. Ah, I knew it. Only the wine's missing. And that means dwarves. They must have followed me. Well, I'd best hurry home before I cross paths with them again. You should come too. No good deed should go unrewarded after all. Thank you again for your help. If you'd not found me, I might have fallen prey to some wild beasts, or worse, a party of wine-drunken gods. If only they were more like the trolls. At least we can live alongside those dwarves in some semblance of harmony. Anyway, here's the reward I promised you. Oh, I'm not here to cause trouble. I've simply come to pay a visit to one of Amity's residents. Nice. A former maid servant, in fact, to whom I owe a belated apology. Now that I finally found her, I find myself beset with unease. Before I approach, I need to know her state of mind. How does she feel now about about me? I would appreciate any insight that might better prepare me for what I must do. Pray find my former maidservant and ask her for her thoughts on Neomore. She's a young and pretty human girl, with hair the color of the palest rose. There you are. Hello again, miss. Was there something? You want to know how I feel about Yomor and my former masters? I thought I made that quite clear the last time we met. The very mention of that place leaves me shaking in terror. It is a terrible city filled with terrible people who care for naught but indulging their basest instincts. Rumor was a nightmare from which I've escaped in body only. Long for the day my mind is released from this fear. And what did she have to say of Yomor? Trembles at the very mention of it. Well, I suppose that is to be expected. 'Tis all true. We lived in decadent abandon, seeking only to fulfill our whims and appetites. And when she became the object of my husband's desires, a jealous rage consumed me. All I could think of was making her suffer. With Lord Vauntry gone, 'tis almost as if a fog has lifted my mind. How clearly I see the awful person I had become. My husband, too, regrets his behavior. He made his apologies, and it is time for me to make mine. Yet it seems a sudden confrontation may be ill-advised. Anticipating such, I have penned a brief letter to explain my intentions. Pray deliver us to the girl. I shall be waiting at top rung. A letter for me? Good gracious, this is for my old mistress. My dear girl, you served my husband and me with unrelenting diligence, and we repaid your efforts with vulgarity and violence, wounding you in heart and body alike. I am deserving of your hatred, of your fear. Words of apology can do little to solve the suffering I've caused, yet I would speak them nonetheless. I await your pleasure at top rung. Am I to believe she has changed so dramatically? Factory society brought out the worst in people. I'm not entirely convinced, but I will at least hear what she has to say. Oh, and this is for you. Her ladyship includes a token of thanks for her mediator. Suppose I should be on my way. Greeting, stranger, and well met. They say folk don't often go out of their way to visit Amity. Me, though, I came here with the mind to raise crops. What, you don't think a man could farm this land? Well, you seem like a well-traveled lass. Why don't you head over to my field back here and take a look for yourself? I'd be curious to know what you think of my chances of taming this barren soil. A tiny sprout has emerged, but is already beginning to wilt. This dirt is bone dry. This dirt has hardened and cracked. Nothing seems to be growing here. Even weeds refuse to grow here. That actually got me. Alright. Who says that side quests aren't worth doing? So, what did you think of my crop? Oh, one of the seeds has sprouted. That's wonderful news. I had no such luck with my previous attempt. Even a small victory like that is worthy of celebration. It brings me one step closer to turning my little plots into the farmer's guild I now dream of. A dream some say will never come true, and yet scratching here in the dirt has already brought me more fulfillment than I ever felt from the empty life I lived in Yomor. Not that I wasn't terrified when they first kicked me out at the gate, mind you. Exiled over some petty disagreement and destitute, but for the few pieces of jewelry I concealed upon my person. The sale of those trinkets brought in some meager wealth, which has largely gone towards my agricultural endeavor. Thus, should my crops fail to produce a harvest ere my friends are depleted, I shall be left with nothing in this world. Ah, I have never felt so alive. Here, friend, a few coins for your services. I had thought the task of tuning this dusty dirt into farmland an ambitious one, but after seeing that giant talus reach up to the very heavens, my own plans seem rather modest and achievable in comparison. Well, I, I'm actually gonna see if there's a new quest at Ilmore. There is not. Oh, have you ever felt love's piercing sting? There's this Hume girl, no, this Hume lady, who stabbed me right through the heart. I saw her on my way back from the mines, and I've been dreaming of her ever since. They say love is a dance, eh? Well, I've been watching from the edges for long enough. I think it's time I took the floor. She should be on her way to fetch water from the river soon, but, I'm too nervous to approach her alone. Would you come with me? Please, you've got to come with me. Thank you. You're the best friend I never had. Off to Boiled Owl Bridge we go. Look, there she is. This is it. Then I'm just going to stay right here because I'm a big bearded coward. I need another favor from you. Will you ask her if she's wed? And if unwed, then what manner of man makes her swoon? Oh, and make sure to be subtle. I'd like to stumble over my own tongue if I try talking to her now. No, first I need you to ask if she's wed, or it unwed. Her preference in men. Perfectly innocent question from a perfect stranger. Yeah, I like the Dorsquist. Oh, weren't you the lady who was traveling with Alphanode? He spoke very highly of you, you know. Said he admired both your strength of arm and strength of character. Now, what could such an admirable woman want with a simple girl like me? Am I wed? Well, no, and I've no prospects to speak of neither. Amity is not exactly bustling at the seams with suitors. And if I were to pick a suitor, gracious me, you are forward, aren't you? Hmm. Well, it's what's on the inside that counts, isn't it? I would hope to meet a soul filled with warmth and kindness, someone much like how Alphino described you, I suppose. No, I have no interest in how a person looks. I'd seek a partner of your qualities, someone kind and generous. Well, what did she say? Appearances aren't important. Is that something other folk judge their partners by? In my village, it ain't considered polite to show your face after you're wed. Helps stay on outside the family home. Still, it probably helps that she's not concerned with how I look. Well, we should be heading back then. It ain't right for me to demand help when then leave you unpaid for your counsel. I was wrestling with the idea on my way home, and I've come to a conclusion. To win my lady's heart, I need to be more like you. I'll travel the world and make myself a man worth marrying. I think I need to have a word with the chief. Thanks again for coming along, friend. Lally ho, say you're that visitor, aren't you? What do you reckon your chances are of smashing a combat automaton? That's my job, you see, making contraptions what can protect the village from eaters and such. My latest and greatest invention is the Ironbeard Killer. Well, maybe not the greatest. As soon as I turned the burger on, it straightened up, twitched a bit, then raced right out the gate. And as much as I'd like to go after it, you never know what a failed automaton might do. What's worse, I turned this one to be extra aggressive. Like as not, I'd barely squeak out a lolly-ho before it pumped me into a bloody mess. I need you to forcibly disassemble the killer and bring me back its core. Last I saw, it was trundling away to the southeast. Here, you can use this lump of coal to pick your battlefield. The automaton is designed to refuel if the opportunity presents itself. While it's stuffing his face with that, you can get the first blow. Make a good one. I don't call it a killer for nothing. Oh, you're back. Any luck retrieving that core? Aye, looks to be in good shape. I can start building a new model straight away. This here stone is both heart and mind for an automaton, you see. It redefines more than just basic behavior, but personality as well. Excuse me. And it was no easy feat making one what's formulated to battle. Let me tell you, I'd rather pull out my beard, by strand than start going again from scratch. That was what my eighth failed automaton. Bah, I'll get it right this time. Thanks for saving me all the extra work. Look at these lovely plump ladies. They'll be laying eggs soon, and my automaton here will spring into action to scoop them up. The egg, that is, not the rails. I hope she'll be alright. Oh, Lalio. Sorry, I was off in my own little world there. I just can't shake the sight of it. My best friend meeting in secret with one of them filthy no-good gogs. If the others were to hear about this, her honor would be forfeit. So you can believe I saw her heading out into spree alone in a few moments ago. At least she had the decency to hang her head in shame. Please, stranger, I need you to convince her to stop this madness while I keep the chief's attention elsewhere. Come back to the village. No, I bloody well will not. I need to be alone. Have you ever felt the pain of heartbreak? I mean, just go away. I might as well tell you now, eh? I was in love with a Gog. It all began the day a cliff kite attacked me as I was coming home from the mines. He saved me from becoming its dinner. He was strapping and sweet, and so I learned his patrol route. Brought him iguana tails, talked about sediment. You know, the usual stuff. Then, once we've gotten to know each other, I confessed my feelings, but he refused me, saying he could never court a Thal. Said it was impossible. I almost wish he just left me for the cliff kite, but he's probably right. Who in Tamra would recognize our love? Who is there to cheer me on? Won't anyone cheer for our love? Cheer. Thank you. There'll be few enough kind words from me if news gets out, but I won't give up. I'll think of a way for my God and I to be together. I see you got my friend to come back, but she was in too much of a hurry to spare me a second glance. What happened out there? Explain the situation. She fell in love with him, with a gog? The chief can never know about this. Thank you for your help, stranger. I'll do my best to keep her out of trouble. Okay. Eh? What? Who? Oh, you're the traveler I keep hearing about. I mean, lolly ho. Almost forgot my manners there. Bad etiquette that. Why don't I make up for it by cooking us a nice, tasty steak breakfast, eh? Thinking a nice cut of lip mole. Aye, well, I suppose that sounds none too appetizing, and the meat of an adult cliff mole is about as pleasant as chewing on your grandma's second favorite pair of boots. Friend of mine, though, he reckons the younger moles are tender and juicy as they come. What say you? Shall we put the claim to the test? Then we'll need to catch one first. The juveniles are said to stay near humid areas, like caves and streams. I'm more of a cave kind of tourist, so you can search the waterways. Oh, and there apparently is skittish lots. You'll need a plump grub to lure one in before you can stuff it in a sack. Right. There's your grub, and there's your sack. Meet me back here, and we'll set the pan to sizzling. The cliff mole trundles happily into the sack and begins feasting on the grub. Okay. Couldn't find me any of the small ones. What about you? Would you look at that? And on your first try, too. I'll just get a fire going and... Wait. Those big round eyes, the lovable face. How could anyone eat such a precious dumpling? I can't do it, not even for the best steak in the world. Have this going for your trouble, but breakfast is cancelled. From this day forward, I'll raise you as my own. I'll feed you and pet you and call you Clippy. Clippy. Okay, both of these plus out of curiosity. Where are you? Oh. I got time for one more. Lolly ho, are you that visitor from some faraway land? Tell me, friend, do you like explosions? That nervous thrill when you toss a bomb you've just made, the satisfaction of shattering a shelf of bedrock into tiny little pieces. I pity the poor souls who've never known such joy. You're a worldly lass, ain't you? Promise not to lecture me about danger and scarring the beardlings like my milk-stop neighbors, and I'll let you test my latest batch of explosives. Take these beauties and throw one at the bedrock east of the village. The explosion's a reward in itself, of course, but if you're lucky, you might also hit a seam of ore. Bring any promising chunks back to me, and I'll let you know what you've found. Go and blow up some bedrock. There's a tempting outcrop just east of the village. Toss a bomb at it, admire the destruction, then bring back any ore you find. Well, anything pretty left behind? Oh, do you know what this is? Iron ore. It's a bit shiny, aye, but otherwise not special for this area. Now for the important part. How was the boom? Wasn't it just the most amazing feeling ever? Boom. See? I knew you'd appreciate a good explosion. Here, a few coins for the ore. Thanks for testing the bombs. You won't believe this. I was mixing different powders and thought the explosion might look pretty up in the night sky. So I tried it. Oh my beard, it was like seeing a flower unfurl, but on fire. I have to tell everyone. Alright. I'm gonna call it here. It's been an hour. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.